Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. As you can see, I'm back in the office now, ready to rock and roll. Kick out some good TA here. So what we're looking at with Bitcoin is pretty straightforward. As a result of yesterday's price action, we saw this double top effectively pulling back now to continue lower. We want to pay attention to this rising wedge pattern, or more importantly, this higher low pattern. If we break free from that, there's a decent chance we could see further downside. For right now, though, we just gotta kind of, relax, take a break, try not to get too crazy with over trading. Let's jump into the back-end data here really quick just to quickly understand some key factors here, because when you look at liquidation levels, there's a lot of liquidation now here down at 57 to 58K. These are some middle to low leverage positions here at this point, causing a lot of accumulation there. Okay, so keep in mind that's not too far away, all things considered. While there is some long-term 63,000, liquidation levels that we've discussed previously on the macro, these are all, a lot of these are from like over almost a month ago, right? And a lot of times when you see that kind of liquidation on the price action, the longer it is, the older it is, the less likely it is to be as monumental as you might think. Okay, so my speculation is that 57 to 58K may be a decent realistic possibility here for the price to pull back. Again, just based on that one thing there. But there's no doubt, of course, you look at this, you add this up together, there's somewhere in the range of 20 to 30 billion between 63 and 63,400. So not to say that's not a thing, but once more, just keep in mind, 58K is a solid amount of liquidation for more local liquidation, okay? So that's this level right here. That's at 0.618 fib level. So again, the likelihood of that happening is also pretty low. But the way price action has been behaving lately, Bitcoin just goes on these quick, fast runs, and it can be difficult to anticipate. There's no other way around it. I mean, even though we secured some healthy profits on, I think it was AVAX, right? Yeah, a good 20% in 10 hours there from day before yesterday. There's still not a lot of opportunity right now. Okay, so keep in mind, not phenomenal trading conditions here. We do take a look at Bitcoin dominance. It's still very high, and that's generally unfavorable for altcoins. So just keep in mind, it's harder to find runners right now than usual. And that's just kind of par for the course. It's okay. It's not an excuse. It just is what it is. And I think just the more important thing to recognize is that you just got to treat the market with respect. Okay, you just got to kind of make sure that you're not overdoing it too much in either direction, because overtrading is a very consistent problem, unfortunately, with a lot of newer traders that come over to my community. By the way, thank you so much again to my community and everyone who's been watching for however long, 3.5 years now with the channel. And I want to say thank you so much for always hitting that like button, commenting below if you get a chance, and just generally being an awesome part of my life. I appreciate you. Okay. So what we want to look at here on the daily time frame is simple moving averages, and recognize that we're still below all of them. Okay. Now, sorry, I misspoke. Yesterday we closed above the 20-day SMA, which is a good trend setter, okay? But we're still below some important ones. Me personally, the 50-day SMA, till we close soundly above that, and I mentioned that yesterday and the day before. If you look at this line here, this is not just a recent resistance level. It's kind of just giving you perspective on the fact that we've had a lot of trouble getting past this level here, okay? So you can kind of see that this 61.5, 61.3 more specifically, is that point of resistance here for us, and it's right there concurrent with the 50-day SMA. So me thinking out loud here, being above the 50 would confirm more bullish behavior. Being below it right now so far confirms that we're still tentatively bearish. Okay. Having said that, though, we're over the 20. That's a good start. We are over our local point of control here. So ever since we've been in this range from August 2nd, roughly 3 weeks of trading, we can see that our local point of control is about 59,400. We zoom out, I'm just kind of curious about this. I haven't looked at this specifically in a short while. Let's see where our macro point of control is. Ever since we've broken above 46,000, we can see that we have the most amount of resistance. Big surprise, 67,000. That hasn't changed. Okay, and again, keep in mind, majority of this volume is above us right now. Okay, so we're building that foundational volume base. That's exactly why the price is kind of hanging out where it's at, because there's a lot of resistance above it. Okay, so me personally thinking to see a parabolic run to 67K or 74K plus in the immediate future seems pretty unlikely. Me personally, I think we're going to kind of still be in this large, wide range, and there's not much around that except for the fact that we got to wait for confirmation. We're not quite there yet. I would say taking some longs with confidence at 61.5 or higher would make a little more sense. Looking here, of course, RSI. This is actually a good sign. We are above 50 in the RSI for once in quite a while. I mean, we look at this here. Back in August 1st was the last time we were above 50. Okay, now it doesn't mean we just go crazy, but it does imply that we might be breaking bullish in that sense. Again, being back over the 20-day SMA, those are very positive signs. Okay, just know that stochastic is maxed out while MACD is starting to converge. So this is more positive than negative as far as indicators are concerned, or oscillators rather. And I can tell you that at this point, it's kind of 50-50 depending on how you look at it. There's a lot of reasons why we got to kind of wait for confirmation. And again, until we get above this 61.5K mark, I really don't think we have a great opportunity. In fact, let's just go ahead and draw a line out here. Keep this guy right here consistent, right there with the local high, 61,700, 61.8. That's more so where we want to be closing above, because that would effectively give us that confirmation that the price is more likely to go up. Okay. Again, we'd be over the 50-day SMA at that point too, and that's a very, very big deal. Okay, so that's the daily time frame. Let's look at the 4-hour here, of course, and just kind of recognize a couple of things. First of all, on the 4-hour time frame, we are over 50 on the RSI. We have been for a little while. While this isn't like a tried and true, like, okay, we're going to the moon because of this, it is more positive than negative. So we can presume at this point the 4-hour time frame is looking better than it has before. All right, and we're over 50 on the the money flow index is pulling back to that 50 range, stochastic trailing off. If we look at the MACD, it's starting to diverge. Okay, so while these are generally unfavorable, the fact that we're still establishing higher lows is important. Just be mindful of this rising wedge pattern that does have a tendency of breaking down and can go down lower once you bearishly backtest this ascending trend line. Okay, that may not happen. Just keep in mind though, if we do break below this ascending trend line, we want to be mindful the price could continue lower. It's just an important thing to recognize. But we look at everything here. Overall, the 4-hour is a little more on the neutral side, because again, we're below the 200 SMA, above some important levels there. But we are still starting to see this momentous potential shift to the downside. I think it's a little early to tell, personally. I don't think we're going to see the price drop immediately, but you've got to factor those things in. So again, when I see a 4-hour time frame like this, it kind of looks a little indecisive. All the more reason for me to be waiting for confirmation. So I'm going to be either waiting for a break above 61.5 or a sound closure below this maybe 59.5 mark, because that's the local 0.382 fib level, and that would put us in a position where the price action would be below. Let's go ahead and put this up here. Just say hypothetically price goes down here. We'd see this guy here effectively be broken. Okay. And again, the reason why that's important is because when you stop establishing higher lows, it does tend to signal itself as a trend reversal. Okay. Again, just something we want to look at. Is that going to be an exact thing? It's like, oh, as soon as it happens, we're done and we're going straight down. No, you just got to keep in mind there's a heavy concentration of liquidation. I would say this is still less than 63,000, but if you add this all up together, that's probably somewhere in the range of 10 to 15 billion at 57 to 58K. All right, and that's not too far away, honestly. Just keep that in mind. We break below this 59.5 mark. I think we will see a wick down to this lower fib level here, this golden pocket at about 58K. Other than that, let's see, is there any fair value? Not too much here, honestly. If we take a look at Ichimoku Cloud, we can see it's getting a little messy here. While we're still above the cloud and the conversion lines over the baseline, the lagging span is soon to intersect, kind of giving us an indication that, hey, if you got a long position open, you probably want to secure some profits by now. You should have secured profits a while ago, honestly. Hindsight, of course, is 2020, but if you're taking a long position and you're not going into it with the strategy of when am I going to get out? I'm just going to ride it out and have some fun. Then you're doing it wrong. And it's okay. It's okay if that's what you want to do. Have fun, of course. There's nothing wrong with a little gamble here and there, and seeing what you get out of it. But if you really want to make a run at this, and this is like your thing, and you want to be a professional, there's no reason to just kind of be throwing money at the wall, seeing if it sticks. Okay. Secure profits when you can. This market is very jagged, very gross, and it can be difficult to survive these ebbs and flows, specifically with high leverage. If you have low leverage or no leverage, it doesn't matter. You can hold on for a lot longer and be able to essentially get some profit in the long run. But again, it's a different strategy depending on what kind of trades you take. But either way, I prefer to lean more towards low leverage, low position sizing. You've probably known that by now, and that generally is favorable for most traders, specifically in this market, just because the market will destroy you in a heartbeat if you're not careful and you don't respect it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll post our playout chart here on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. If you're not familiar, it looks a little something like this, where I just kind of give you anticipation of what I think is going to go next. Keep in mind, AVAX is closer to $25 now. So congrats on those trades there, folks. And let's see if we can find any other ones here. But for right now, I'm going to wait for confirmation on Bitcoin. 61.5 or higher, I might consider a long. 59.5 or lower, I'm going to consider a short. Okay. You could even, hypothetically too, if you're more of a range-bound trader, you could essentially take a long at 59.5 because there's a possibility it might bounce and continue to honor this ascending trend. Right? Is it a guarantee? Absolutely not. All right, folks, thanks again so much for joining me here. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much.